Hey, I wanted to address this idea that the awakening process is selfish because it's all about your fears, your trauma, your issues, your goal, your mission, your purpose, your vibration, your reality, stuff like that. And I saw the comment on someone else's YouTube channel where they were talking about, their self-improvement path, and the person commented, "You're so selfish." And I just thought that it was really interesting because it never really clicked for me that way, as it being like a criticism. But then I realized that a lot of people struggle with feeling selfish themselves in their awakening path and thinking, oh, I'm being selfish, focusing on all this stuff. And I just wanted to say that yes, the spiritual awakening is selfish, but it's supposed to be selfish, and it has to be. And I see it kind of like lying in a hospital for 6 months or a year or 2 years with broken bones, and you could say that that's selfish, but the alternative is to keep walking around with broken bones. And the only way to heal as a collective is for each of us to heal individually, which requires each of us to be selfish, because it's only when we address our own issues and step into who we are that we can then have a loving world. And we must meet our own needs first and learn to have boundaries. And through this process, we will see the unity of all things. There will be no desire to stomp on other people to get what you want. And people who are abusive and hurt others are acting from fear. So by focusing on the self and addressing these fears, it actually reduces future hurtful behavior. And like the person in the hospital, when the bones are healed, you will want to rejoin humanity. You will be inspired to serve, and this is an inherent part of the awakening. So we will want to serve from joy, and because we will see the unity of everything, we will see that loving others is loving ourselves, and lifting other people up will be a natural desire. So if you're feeling selfish in being isolated, know that it will be worth this process of embodying spirit and then sharing that light with the world. So it may be selfish to have this period maybe of isolation, or this period where you aren't giving as much to other people, but I think it has to be this way, and there's nothing wrong with it being that way. And I'm not saying that you should be neglecting your duties, like if you have children or you have a partner, like obviously there are certain things that you would need to be doing. But if you have relationships in your life that are kind of mediocre or even toxic, like, do not feel bad about taking a break or just ending those relationships. Like, it is way more important that you focus on yourself and like get really clear about who you are and step into your mission. That's more important than appearing like not a selfish person. Like maybe you used to always do certain things for the community, like bake sales or something, and now you're just like, oh, I'm so tired, I would rather be like reading spiritual books or watching spiritual videos. Like, you need to prioritize this awakening. Even if you feel selfish and other people are calling you selfish, this is the only way we will get to the world we want, is to focus on the things that really matter to us and uncovering these fears. And you're going to be selfish in that process. But if we want real change in the external world, we need real change on the inside. And the only way to do that is to have a certain level of selfishness during your awakening process. And even when you're embodying spirit, you're still going to be selfish in the sense that your own needs will matter. Like, you will not do anything for anyone else that compromises what you need. That's the only way to have a loving world. If we need to prioritize our own needs and then only do things that are like mutually beneficial, and only have relationships that are mutually beneficial. We can't have these toxic dynamics of one person basically feeding off of another. And sometimes we need that period of isolation in order to really see what it's like to feel peace and to feel not drained by other people. Like, as someone who's been in horrible toxic relationship all of my life, it wasn't until I actually isolated myself that I was able to notice how I actually had more energy, because other people weren't draining my energy anymore. And I could actually feel peace because I wasn't surrounded by this chaotic energy of people who feed off of that. So depending on your circumstances, like if you already have loving relationships, then maybe you won't need so much isolation. But if you're feeling exhausted and you're feeling drained and you're feeling like it's selfish to isolate yourself, it's not. This is what you need. If we want a peaceful world on the outside, we need to have peace on the inside. And if the way for you to feel peace on the inside is to isolate yourself for now, then that's what you have to do. And I believe the isolation will end at some point when we're ready, but just know that it's not only not selfish, but it is actually what you have to do to step into the person that you came here to be, to help create this new world. So, thanks for watching.